Two of the world's largest banks have come under scrutiny in the last few years for alleged unscrupulous business practices in Switzerland. So what shady things have these banks been accused of, and how does it affect you? Well, first of all, a Swiss banking law in 1934 made it a criminal act for banks to reveal the name of its account holders. This came in handy for Jews during World War II, when they were able to hide funds from the Nazis. But the banks have since become an infamous tax haven for the global elite. The UBS, or the United Bank of Switzerland, and the London-based HSBC, short for the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, are some of the world's largest banks which have benefited from the 1934 law. UBS accounts and Swiss HSBC accounts have been held by the internationally wealthy, including many celebrities, politicians, royalty, corporate executives, and families with old money. It's safe to say that both banks have had their share of run-ins with the law over the years. The UBS and other Swiss banks were accused in the 1990s of keeping unclaimed World War II wealth to themselves, including things stolen by the Nazis. And in the 2000s, the UBS, the HSBC, and their affiliates were required to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in restitutions and penalties for unsavory business practices. These infractions have included mis-selling products to elderly customers, lending bank names and logos to fraudulent pension funds, being involved in the Enron collapse, and a huge Ponzi scheme that cost investors $600 million. Lately, because of whistleblowers from inside the HSBC and the USB, authorities have been made aware of alleged tax evasion schemes created by the banks themselves in order to help their clients hide money. Tax evasion can negatively affect the majority of the world while benefiting an elite minority. Regular taxpayers like you and me need to chip in more money to compensate for tax evaders. A 2012 report from the Tax Justice Network estimates that conservatively, between $21 and $32 trillion goes unreported from the world's wealthiest people, money which is stored in tax havens like the ones allegedly offered by certain Swiss banks. The UBS says that it has since amended its policies and takes regulator accusations very seriously. The HSBC maintains a similar sentiment and reports that it has refocused and reevaluated business practices. Many other banks have also settled with government regulators for huge sums of money, and they pledged to do better. Back in 2011, a G20 summit report declared that the era of bank secrecy is over. However, with the recent Swiss bank controversies, it appears that's not the case. Corporations have also found ways to avoid paying their taxes as well. To learn about one such loophole, check out our video here.
Corporations love paying less in taxes. One way to do that is by switching their corporate domicile to a country with a lower tax rate. It's called corporate inversion, and it's easy to do.
For all the latest TestTube, please subscribe.